Steeler Nation, Steeler Crazy Nation. We are back with another great show. I am JY Football. This is Mic'd Up Sports One. Sammy, let's get to it.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. Steelers Crazy.
Harris Smith shields. Flacco, Polamalu takes it home. Super Bowl 43. Pittsburgh might be bound for that thanks to number 43.
The sickest Pittsburgh Steelers podcast. Sports entertainment like no other. It's gonna be sick.
One of these days, we got to shout out Juliana back there.
I'm waiting. Well, no, we're going to do a special tribute for that. I'm going to save it for her birthday, so I got to figure out when her birthday is.
I like that. We'll ask her when we get off air. Shout out to our sick team doing all the grunt work in the back. Listen, speaking about grunt work, we got a guy on today who's done some grunt work in track and field, and now he's converting to football full-time, essentially. Man, I always love a great story like this. We're going to break things down with just a really intriguing new Steeler. Let's bring him on. It's Gabe Oladipo. Gabe, what's up?
On, guys? How y'all doing?
Good.
Good, man. We're happy to have you. We're happy to help tell your story to a lot of our fans, and I think you're definitely a somebody like I said before. It's got a unique story, unique background. So first and foremost, obviously, we know you're a Pittsburgh Steeler right now. We can see that on the T-shirt. But your journey to get there, certainly unorthodox.
Right.
You are a discus thrower, correct? Shot put, hammer throw, all these good things at Texas Tech. First of all, tell me how you got into this and how you became literally one of the best at that in the country.
Well, track, so it's really funny. It all stems back to my dad. My dad, had a very similar path. He came to the U.S. on a track and field scholarship from Nigeria. Ended up playing football as well at Washington State. So, when I was in 7th grade, that was my first year throwing for middle school. Like as soon as I was able to compete for the school, that's when I started. And I've just been, just following suit ever since. I've been busy since I was a little kid. I've been doing 3 to 4 sports every year, just year round: basketball, baseball, track, football, whatever the case may be. So I've just been an athlete my entire life, and I just loves to stay busy and to take on new challenges.
You are, like I mentioned, an absolute beast over there in track and field. Big 12 weight throw discus champion. You defend the weight throw ship in 2022. You get an extra year of eligibility there. What made you say, you know what, I want to try football again?
So football for me has always really been in the cards. Like anybody in my family, first of all, I come from a football family. My dad, obviously, on my mom's side, my cousins, my uncles, everybody played. And anybody that knows me will tell you everybody's been telling me that I should have been playing since I was 5 years old. You know what I mean? But it's always been in the cards. So when I transferred to Texas Tech from A&M, I actually I lived with football players. Ironically enough, I had one track teammate and 2 football teammates. So sometime around then, I met the old D-line coach with the old coaching staff, and we just met. We would communicate. We actually happened to be from a nearby area back here in Houston, and we just kind of built a relationship from there. So I was actually heavily contemplating it as soon as I got there. However, obviously that ended up being the COVID season, that 2020, when my track season started. Obviously it got canceled at the national championship. So COVID really just threw a wrench in everything because, nobody knew what was going to happen. You know what I mean? Nobody knew what was going to happen. And then just with all the uncertainty and whatnot, we decided it wasn't the best idea to make that change at that time, especially with the nature of football being a contact sport and not knowing what's going on or how things are going to work. So, that postponed things. But then when Coach McGuire and the new coaching staff came into town, y'all, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Texas Tech, but Coach McGuire, very, very, very supportive, loves everything Texas Tech and Lubbock related. So I would see him around campus all the time. He would come speak to me. Whenever I would do something on the track, like a big accomplishment, like win Big 12s or break a record or whatever the case may be, he would always reach out to me on Twitter, send me a message, support, just being supportive. And even the D-line coach came to one of my track meets in Lubbock. And it was so I've just been building a relationship with the coaches, as soon as they were on campus. So when they asked me if I'd be interested in coming to play football for them, I said, oh, yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Just why wouldn't
right.
I? There's a new coaching staff, fresh start, and I mean I was extremely excited to take on that new challenge.
That's awesome. So let's talk about some of these numbers at the Texas Tech Pro Day. And correct me if I'm wrong. 29 bench press reps,
Yes, sir.
4.97 40 time, and that was the 7th overall fastest among defensive tackles.
Yeah, I'm still upset about that one, but yeah, that's
He wanted number
correct.
one. He wanted the top. Come on,
man.
now.
It was tough because we're out in West Texas. Those winds are harsh. We were outdoors. Those winds are tough. So when you have a big body, those winds are not very very forgiving. But no, yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
I think they're pretty respectable. What is rookie camp? How has rookie camp been? And what does it mean to you to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? Like, did you grow up? What team did you support? Was it a Texas team, or the rich history of the Steelers? Just kind of like your whole thought and soaking it all in, and just talk a little bit about rookie camp.
Man, that's a great question. So I'll start off by saying, growing up, I really didn't have a team per se. Like I played Madden with like my older cousins. I get thrashed, beat by 100. So I do
sounds like me. It sounds like me and Mike.
Right.
Yeah,
I do remember getting beat by the Steelers a lot. So you know what I mean? There's that there.
Yeah.
But I didn't, growing up, I just didn't really have a team that I supported. Whoever I enjoyed playing with.
You were just a fan of the NFL.
Right. I just love football, just love the game of football. But going back to rookie camp, I mean, I can't speak to it enough. It was genuinely one of the best experiences of my life. Like, I enjoyed it so much. It was a blast. I mean, even in a short amount of time, I already felt significant progression in myself as a football player, learning from Coach Dunbar and obviously getting the chance to meet Coach Mike Tomlin. I mean, and going back to the rich history of it, they actually took us to the stadium, and they have the Hall of Fame museum in the stadium.
Yeah.
And they showed us this present. Right. They showed us
the
this
trophies,
presentation, everything. And that presentation, it was like we were just, some of the guys were just looking at each other like, wow, like we're really a part of this. Like, and it's kind of surreal because you like you said, you kind of alluding to your first question, you grow up playing the games, watching things on TV, and you're like, oh, this is awesome.
And now it's your reality.
Exactly. I mean, it's like something you really can't describe. And to be honest, it quite honestly hasn't set in yet. But that was just an awesome experience, getting to really learn about the history. They showed us this awesome film about the history. We got to meet, some people, the GM, the owners, things like that. It was just an awesome experience. And I just really enjoyed getting the chance to work with Coach Dunbar out in Pittsburgh and just see how they operate, see how they do things.
The standard is the standard. That's what they say.
Absolutely. It definitely is. And I mean, it just made it feel like you had already been there. That's the best way I could describe it.
Yeah. So I have one more question before I throw it back to Mike. What have the Steelers talked to you in terms of, game and what you'll be working on the most? And, just like what, do you have a plan yet? Or are you kind of just in the beginning phases?
So kind of in the beginning phases, in the sense that like nobody, obviously, like I came in as a defensive tackle, but with the way that the defense works, you don't know exactly, like, are you going to be a nose? Are you going to be on the 4-eye? Are you going to play?
They might need, you never know. They might need you a kicker.
Right. Hey, I don't know about that one, but I'll see what I can do.
Blocking field goals. The other side.
Right. You see, that's more
rush.
on my alley. I will run a mean fake though. I will run a mean fake if need be. But
that Madden might ultimately play. Yeah, it might ultimately pay off.
Right. But no, yeah. So it's very preliminary right now. I mean, we know that we're defensive tackles. You have your outside guys, but in terms of how you're specifically going to be used, no, we haven't gotten too deep into that.
We are hanging out with Gabe Oladipo. He's got a great story, talking a little bit about his background. He is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, going to fight to make that roster. We can't wait to watch, hopefully, this preseason. Gabe, I want to ask you a couple more things before we get you out of here. First, I just want to talk about, we like to ask some of the newer players this. Is there a guy on the Steelers, right, a current player on the team that you've watched that you're going to say to yourself, holy crap, I get to meet this guy or play with this guy at some point, whether it's the Cams or the TJs of the world?
Right. I mean, obviously you said two of the biggest ones right there. Obviously Cam and TJ, but especially with Cam, being specifically in my position and all the great things he's been able to accomplish and the consistency.
Yeah.
And it's funny, just a little sidebar. It's like even when we were learning, just a few little things that we were learning, the way that we saw how the all pros are doing the same things we're doing, but they show that, like, when you're committed to the system and you know how to play things properly, this is genuinely what you can become. I mean, obviously there's a lot of talent and intangibles, but it's like it makes it real in a sense. So yeah, I mean, Cam's definitely a guy that I look forward to meeting. I mean, that's gonna be a starstruck moment for sure. But I'll even give you a little sleeper one. During camp was Nick Boyle. Nick Boyle, he was he came in as a snapper, and the second we got off the plane, I looked at him, I'm like, you look so familiar. I couldn't quite, put the name to the face. And we actually sat down and ate dinner together one night. I'm like, okay, like, you look so familiar. Like, who are you? He's like, oh, I'm Nick Boyle. I'm like,
wow,
the tight end for the Ravens. And
tight end.
I'm like, wow. You know what I mean? So that was the first little experience. I sat there and I had a really good talk with him. He's a great guy. Obviously trying to be a snapper now, and it's just when you get to this level, it's a crazy mix of feeling like you belong there yourself, and then obviously getting to see the people that came before you that have, made it to the ultimate levels.
Yeah.
That is just so cool. Yeah.
Right.
That is some good stuff right there.
Right when you said Nick Boyle, I thought the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. You're probably like, wait a minute, he's probably introducing himself as a long snapper, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Hey, that just goes to show you, man, right there, Gabe. Anything is possible.
Never know. You
exactly.
Never know. Yeah, exactly. Hey, before we get you out of here, man, obviously life is bigger than football at the end of the day. We always like introducing the new guys we have on this show. Tell us just a little bit about Gabe. What are some hobbies, man? What are some things that maybe people don't know about you outside Madden, outside of discus? What do you like to do, man? What's your makeup?
Man, honestly, so it's funny you asked that, because as I've been in college, I've tried to branch out a lot more, because obviously I love gaming, I love music, listen to all different types of music when I'm working out, whether I'm just chilling, doing anything by myself. But one thing, I've started to try to venture out into the outdoor world a little bit. Okay. I haven't done anything crazy, but my old track teammates, they finally got me out of my shell a little bit. They took me shooting for the first time, which was a lot of fun. Haven't been fishing yet. I mean, apparently that's like a all day thing that we haven't had time to do.
I know all the good fishing spots, so just let me know.
Oh, most definitely. I definitely have to experience that. I've been invited on a few hunting trips. Yeah. I definitely heard that was an all day thing that I was not mentally prepared for. So I'm, we'll have to wait on that. But I'm definitely trying to broaden my horizons, because, as you said, I mean, life's bigger than football. It's bigger than athletics in general, and I'm really just trying to now just experience as many things as I can and really just enjoy life. So that's something I look forward to. Just new experiences. In all facets of life.
I just pictured you out there reeling in a big ass shark or something. That was running through my mind.
That would be my last time going fishing. That would be my last time going fishing. There's no longer anything for me in that water.
Yeah.
Well, good news is you won't catch any of those in Pittsburgh.
Okay, well,
probably not in Texas either, but maybe in the Gulf somewhere over there if you were to go. Hey, man, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. We're excited for our Steeler fans to get to know you as well. And like Jordan always says, keep in touch. We'll hook you up in the city with some good spots. Not just fishing, but of course, there's hunting all over the Pittsburgh area. Of course. So a lot of cool outdoors things to do, hiking, and we'll take you and show you Mount Washington too. So listen, man, we're rooting for you, part of the Steelers Crazy family.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, man. Best of luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just what a great story. I mean, honestly.
Great guy. Yeah, really nice to have him on. And, you know, it's always fun to introduce a lot of these guys to Steelers Nation. Steelers Nation, as you and I always talk about, it's everlasting, right?
Yeah.
Guys, once you're a Steeler for 2 days, you're a Pittsburgh Steeler, right? We're hoping he goes on to do big things, Pro Bowler, you know. But if he's somebody ultimately at the end of the day who, you know, doesn't go on to be that type of player, it doesn't he's going to learn pretty quickly. He walks into a bar, he walks into even somewhere in Texas and says, yeah, I was a Pittsburgh Steeler. People are going to be asking for autographs. People are going to be asking for pictures. It's just something about that black and gold, like we talked about, that black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers culture. The standard is the standard. Pretty damn cool how he went from kind of this big track and field athlete to literally a Pittsburgh Steeler. So it's been fun, Jordan.
Most definitely. So make sure you check out all our episodes. We put our life on the line. Steelers going 10-7. You have them going 10-7. We got to live by it. Until next time, stay crazy. Sammy.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Steelers Crazy on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.